Hey, my friends, hope you have an awesome day. Hey, do you know anybody whose cell phone is always perpetually dying, right? It's always like on under 10% battery life. I do. In fact, I'm related to some of them. And I know some people and some youth, man, every time you look at the phone, like, hey, my phone's dying. I gotta plug it in, my phone's dying. And my daughter does that a lot. And it's interesting, I just had this aha of like, oh man. And again, they're using their phone a lot. Maybe you do this too, right? And you're using your phone a ton, which is great. But all the more reason to manage the battery life better, right? To manage the energy. And you see where I'm going here. Huge life lesson that so many of our problems and so many of our struggles is poor mismanagement, right? Poor management of our thoughts, poor management of our energy. And so a lot of us have batteries that are just tanked in our own bodies. And we're just dragging every day. It feels like you're dragging yourself through the day, right? You guys ever feel like that? You ever get up, just every single morning feels like this battle to get out of bed, and every day it's a struggle, and some of you are probably pretty coffee dependent or energy drink dependent now, or maybe you got to get some sugars in your body because you're just dragging every day. And a lot of that, you guys, you're with me here? This loving coaching. It's just mismanaging our energy. And we're suffering needlessly or making it a lot harder than it could be. So I want to just share a couple tips about managing your energy, because just like your cell phone, if you can keep that thing plugged in and get regular recharges and try to keep it, above half, say that's just a good example. Like, hey, as soon as the battery gets halfway, let's charge it back up. Let's make sure it gets charged overnight. Anytime there's downtime, anytime we're driving, we're charging. It's just simple management practices, and life is the same way. So, a couple energy sources. Number one is, of course, physical. Like, manage your physical energy. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, enough water, good nutritious food. If you're just surviving on junk food and soda and microwave stuff like packaged meals and fast food, oh, your poor body's just hurting. And even if you're like, hey, I'm a high energy person, watch what happens when you improve your food and your sleep and your water. Oh, it's amazing. And then get some exercise. Actually, intense exercise will increase your energy levels. Boom. And then, you guys, if you want to geek out on all this stuff, like I've been researching this for 2 decades, but there's a really great book called The Power of Full Engagement. So grab that book, geek out on it, like learn all you can. There's so much information about there. And there's all the energy levels. So physical, there's a lot of little tweaks you can do by like the glycemic index of food. So sometimes we think, hey, I'm eating healthy food. I had a bagel and orange juice for breakfast. Well, that's high glycemic stuff. So you get like a sugar hit, right? Even though it's good, technically good for you, you get a sugar hit and then a drop. And so you feel your energy just slam after that. So there's ways to like just totally geek out on this stuff and get dialed in. And it's amazing what it does to your body. Now, the other side is, the other source of energy is mental energy. Same in this book. It covers physical, mental, emotional, and social. And well, spiritual. I add social. And I'm gonna step in the sunlight here. Wow. We've gotta be watching our mental energy. Like a good mental management, right? Same thing with charging our phones. We gotta charge our minds. And a lot of us are just exhausting our mental batteries. We're just draining them because we're worried about all kinds of things. We're allowing fear and just idle chatter and all kinds of worries and gossip and all kinds of junk going on in there. It's just draining it. And then we're not feeding it. We're not feeding our mind, and we're not exercising our mental muscles, right? We're struggling. It's tough. So you can manage your mind. Again, great ideas in that book. But do something every day that's exercising your mind and re-energizing your mind. So reading just a few minutes from a fantastic book every day will make a huge difference. I'll give you a challenge. Read a page or two every single day from the book by James Allen called As a Man Thinketh. I did that for 2 years after I'd read it many times, and I've reread it many times since. But every single day, just 1 or 2 pages, and it'll take you like 60 seconds, I promise. And watch what it does. Just re-energizing your mind. It's powerful. Emotions. Remember, we have a lot of emotional turmoil. And we're allowing a lot of people just stink at this one because it's not your fault. You've never been taught how. But a lot of people just really stink at this emotional management and the emotional energy. And we are just wasting tons of emotional energy on stuff that doesn't matter, like getting really upset over small things and constantly being agitated or frustrated or bothered or irritated, or these huge emotional dramatic swings we're all over the place, or allowing our emotions to be determined and dictated by situations. Stop doing that. We've got to choose our emotions, and we've got to replenish our emotions. So do you have habits in place that re-energize you emotionally, that you get to recharge and reset? Again, we're going back to cell phone, right? Do you have ways to plug in emotionally and recharge? It could be walking. Nature does it. Whoa, nature does it. Good books do it. Yoga, meditation, spiritual reading, just time with peaceful people you get together with, and you're just like, I love being with you. It's so energizing. Just anything to calm you down. Alone time, if you're around people a lot. Some of you might get energized with people, but just figure out a way to make sure that you are feeling energized and recharging emotionally. And of course, spiritually, spend time with God, spend time with nature, spend time thinking about your values and your standards, and just your inner life, right? Spend some time with your inner life, and just like get real quiet, get real peaceful, do some writing, some thinking, reading from spiritual texts. There's a ton. And again, a lot of people don't know this, they don't realize it. There are just ridiculous amounts of energy available to us. Unlimited, I would say. Unlimited amounts of energy that come emotionally and mentally and spiritually. They're just not being tapped into. And then socially as well. There's tons of social energy. But again, with poor mismanagement, right, and not plugging in, not recharging, like we can get some pretty gnarly drains on our social batteries. We're being around people that are toxic and negative all the time, and having to deal with people all the time. They're just draining you. You know who I'm talking about, right? And if that's the case, you gotta figure out a way to spend less time with those people, or less energy on those people, or remove them completely from your life. Like toxic relationships need to be changed or removed. And I know that sounds harsh, but it is true. And you've got to get your own management here, your management here, your management here, just physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, so you can handle those situations, especially the social one, and then surround yourself with people that build you up and excite you and energize you, so when you're with them, you just feel fantastic, right? We spent yesterday at the beach with some families and friends that are like that, just super energized. Like you spend time with people like that, and you're just like, yeah, like I just want to be better, I want to do better, and I love being around people, and they just energize you socially instead of drain you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see another human being, and like, right? So again, like right back to cell phone, my friends. A lot of you got your batteries are just running dead all the time, and it's literally just because of mismanagement. And so a few simple habits that I mentioned there, and get in the book if you want more, but a few simple strategies and habits will keep you charged all the time, and then you're running at full battery instead of being drained and struggling. You guys, awesome is always an option. Reach upward.